Peace. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Art of Relationship show. Hopefully, everybody's doing okay. I know the weather here this week in Michigan is crap, okay? Sinuses going all over the place. Not only that, more importantly, what's coming up, right? We have Thanksgiving, we have the holiday season coming up, and a lot of people are supposed to be happy, joyful, woo, right? Not for a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there that are depressed. They are not looking forward to the holiday season, and I'm going to give you some tips and some ideas to help manage the holiday stress here on the Art of Relationship show. Don't go anywhere. Here's the intro. Be right back. Hey, welcome back to the Art of Relationship show. I'm your host, as always, and I give a little intro to myself. I'm Greg Dudzinski, fully licensed professional counselor, relationship and sex specialist here in Detroit, and I hope everybody's doing okay. I have 22 years. I've been doing this professionally, and I have a lot of trauma and grief experience as well, okay? And talking about trauma and a lot of grief, the holiday season is not fun for a lot of people out there. And there's people, Christmas, Hanukkah, Thanksgiving, it's my favorite time of the year. But for a lot of people out there, it's depressing. It brings back, bad, maybe hurtful memories of past loved ones that have been that didn't make it this year, okay? That they lost loved ones, let's face it. Maybe depression, right? Seasonal affective disorder is going on right now, right? Especially in northern states, absolutely. The lack of sun, the cold air gets hit coming in, and it's depressing for a lot of people, okay? Not only that, then you throw in the hustle and bustle of the holiday season, right? Trying to, and let's face it, the economy is not great, so trying to be able to afford even food, not to mention maybe Christmas gift or Hanukkah gifts, that type of thing, Kwanzaa, whatever your thing is, right? Whatever your holiday is you celebrate. For a lot of people, it's stressful, okay? Now you look at, a lot of people, we need to make a show. It's all about us being, showy, that type of situation. I can't, sort of cut back on expenses with gift giving. About, maybe you cut back on the food expenses as well during the holiday season. And a lot of people won't do that, and they'll get themselves even further stressed out, right? Especially when the holiday bills come in after the holiday season, okay? So a lot of people will look at, I need to start Instagram. My apologies to the Instagram people for starting that late. So chime in, people, before I jump back into it. Chime in with your questions down below. It doesn't have to be related to the holidays, that type of situation. It can be anything related to dating, relationships, intimacy, marriage, maybe even parenting, okay? I have a lot of, I used to work with kids and teens as well, severe trauma many years ago, okay? So, are you worried about being deported? No, but I know a lot of people are. I am, let's face it, I'm an American citizen. Parents have been, but I know there's a lot of people that are worried about it, and that is a whole nother topic we can get into, okay? So I appreciate everybody chiming in. Roger, Wizzy, what's happening, man? So that's where I want people to be able to look at what the holiday stresses. Not only we have the expenses, which are going nuts, right? But also the stress of running here, running there, with a lot of divorces, which I try to prevent. Let's face it, that's what I do. Or relationship breakups. I look at what can happen How do you manage everything? So a lot of divorces break up all that, and there's a lot of step family dynamics, and a lot of people are like, oh, I got to run here, we got to run here, we got to run to this family. And you go, I don't have hair, I pull it out, right? So a lot of people go nuts. It's highly stressful. A lot of people can't sleep. And you look at it, how do you manage the holidays? Not only that, but as a couple, right? Because what happens is arguments, fighting, especially when there are new couples formed or you are recently married, living together, and you look at where do you go for the holiday season, right? Do you have Thanksgiving at your house, which I give people a lot of credit. That is a lot of work. That's not me. I work hard, absolutely. Well, that's something that's not me. So you're trying to get the house clean, trying to get food cooked, or people bringing food. It's a lot of prep and a lot of stress, right? So you look at, even having it at your house, or are you going to your side of the family, you going to your partner's side of the family, and there's a lot of arguments, right? Especially when relationships are newly formed, when you are in a new marriage or living together, okay? I've been doing this for 20 years, and your partner, I've been doing this for 20 years. Now, what do you do to evolve and grow together? So you work together. It's a give and take, right? And let's be honest, there's a lot of people that maybe you have family members and they're 2 hours away in opposite directions, right? So there's no way you can be at two places at once. But then you talk about splitting time, and you're like, there's not enough time because of the drive time, right? That's realistic. Or some people might live in a neighboring state, have family there, or talking about travel, another expense, right? So you look at what are the boundaries and what is needed to manage the holiday time, what is needed to get through the holiday season, and what boundaries are in place, right? You are looking at what is happening throughout the world, right? Throughout America with Thanksgiving, the holiday season. And you're trying to please everybody, and you can't. And it adds on a lot of stress. It adds on, it wears people out emotionally, mentally, even physically, okay? So that's where I want people to be able to understand those type of situations. We have a question. What about an abortion clinic where yesterday's loss is today's sauce, right? I'm pro-choice, so I'm huge pro-choice 100%, right? I tell people, how can you be pro-life for anti-abortion, but then that means you're anti-women, where a woman might die. So how can you be pro-life, but you're against women that could possibly die during maternity months or delivery, that type of situation, okay? So I'm going to be honest, a lot of people are going to be pissed. But I'm pro-choice. I'm all about women's rights and women empowerment. And nobody should be able to dictate a woman's body, plain and simple, okay? So going back to the holiday aspects and holiday choices, right? And you're trying to please everybody else. Hey, Ann, what's going on? Anna, what's happening? So please join in. Join in the chat down below, people, and anything I can do to help you out. Throw your questions out. Doesn't have to relate to the holiday season, the topic at hand. Not at all. And that's where I want people to understand and look at how do we manage it, and do we do what's best for everybody else, right? Relatives, friends, that type of situation. Or are we going to do maybe what's less stressful to us? And are you able to say, you know what, maybe we're not going to go anywhere Thanksgiving this year. Maybe we're just going to do our thing at home. And then you have a lot of people, the guilt trips, the manipulation. Oh, you don't love us. You don't that. But you got to be able to look at what is healthy for you. And that's what I said about boundaries, right? And it's very difficult, let's be real, where you have one person that loves the holidays, wants to go everywhere or have everybody over, and maybe your partner's more introverted, and they're like, I just want to chill out. I don't want to work. I don't want to do anything during the holiday season. Now, can you sort of balance that? Can you ebb and flow those situations? And a lot of couples, I have them now, right? They're arguing, fighting. That's not their only issues, but especially about the holiday season. And with those that have been in step-family dynamics, right, that have been through a divorce, you have to go through, we got to go to mom's side. Then we got to go to mom's new husband's side. We have to go to dad's side, dad's new wife or girlfriend's side. It's a lot and it's overwhelming. So I want you to give yourself permission to say, no, we're overwhelmed. Maybe we'll see you on another weekend, that type of situation, to be able to set boundaries and tell people no, because I don't want people to get burned out or further stressed. And I'm going to be honest, that's not going to be easy, because a lot of your relatives are going to be pissed. They're going to be upset. They're going to be hurt. But I want them to also look at, you know what, I get it. You're exhausted. You're tired, especially with those families that have new babies, right? They have new kids. They have infants. And trying to, carry them all over the place, get them ready, get them going all over the place. And the relatives, it's their first Thanksgiving, their first holiday season. We want to see them. You need to come here. You get me? Now you have to do what's best for your home, your household, and tell people no. Set those boundaries. Hey, we love you. We want to see you. We're just burned out. We're exhausted. We are just going to chill out. And I tell people, if they don't respect that, that's their issue, okay? You're being cordial. You're being respectful. You're telling them, hey, we love you. We're just exhausted. We want to just chill out this year. We'll see you another weekend, whatever type of thing, okay? So give yourself permission to be able to handle that and to be able to look at people that, hey, you know what? Say no. And it's very difficult because you're not going to be able to go everywhere all the time, especially if you are from a divorce situation, right? You're not going to be able to meet everybody's needs. Now, not only that, with the holiday stresses, you have to look at, here's an option, right? Maybe, say, Thanksgiving. That's the first maybe holiday coming up in America anyways. And you're like, okay, can we go to your family this year? Next year, we'll go to your family. Are you able to take turns? And it works well for a lot of people. Again, you're going to have family members, mothers, grandmothers that will try to guilt trip you, right? Oh, I can't believe you're forgetting, you're neglecting your own mother. You know what? We've always done this forever. Okay, but now it's new. Now you have your own family or your own situation, right? And that needs to be a priority. And your relatives, that doesn't mean they're going to like it or have to get used to it, but it's how you handle it and how you allow it to affect you. Don't allow it to affect you, because that's a guilt trip, that's manipulation. And I get it. It's not easy. It's not easy at all, but that's where I want people to be able to set boundaries for yourself, to be able to say, you know what, mom will get over it, grandma will get over it. And it's even more difficult because that guilt, right? Especially if your mother, father, grandmother, grandfather, whoever raised you, right, they're older or they're sick, and that guilt is coming around. You know what? They might not make it for another Thanksgiving, another holiday season. I get that. That's where you have to be a little more flexible, and do you look at, hey, you know what? They're not expected to be around, but I don't want people to be guilt-tripped into that situation. So one suggestion is, okay, can you alternate years? I've done it for many years, right? Can you go to your partner's side this year, next year you go to the other? Or do you spend Thanksgiving, day with one side, maybe you do Saturday, Sunday with your other side of the family? Again, a lot of running around, a lot of preparation, right? So that's where I tell people, are you able to manage? Are you able to understand what is best for you to reduce those stress levels? Again, easy? Hell no, not at all. But it's also looking at what is healthy for you, that, number one, you don't go in the debt so much the holiday season, because that's going to create a lot of stress. right? Oh, I got to make sure my kids have this, have that, or they won't feel loved. They won't feel. Now I'm looking at, are you teaching your kids? Have you learned each other that love is all materialistic? Or is it about spending time together, maybe board games, whatever, video games, whatever your thing is? So that's where I want you to be able to look at what works for you instead of, are you buying that love? Are you buying that time? Are you buying that attention? And a lot of people that are very less fortunate, and I get that. People think I'm wealthy, what I do. Not at all. So a lot of people, poverty level, and they don't have that. So that's where I'm looking at, the gratitude. People talks about the holiday gratitude. And what's more important, is it about the gifts you give, or is it about the love you share, the time you share together, the appreciation for one another during the holiday season? So that's where I want you to maybe chew on that a little bit, okay? And to be able to look at those situations. And again, it's not easy, not at all. Hey, Reba, I appreciate you tuning in as well. And again, throw your questions out there. Share this on your timeline. I want to help as many people out there as possible on your timeline page, whatever, to get your questions, your answers going, okay? Again, join the chat down below. Any questions I can help with, okay? Now, during the hold on, as I catch my breath a little bit, coughing. My apologies, okay? So that's where I look at the holiday seasons. You're trying to please everybody. You can't. Now, you have to look at, and can you plan and talk to your partner? Or is your partner selfish, egocentric? Oh, I've been doing this forever. We've been doing this, and they don't want to change. They don't want to look at what the impact it has on you. Maybe you're the partner that don't look at the impact it has on your partner, your kids, that situation, your home, right? Is it your home before everybody else? And a lot of people, depending on culture, how you live, there's cultures that still live together generations, right? 3-4 generations together. And you're trying to please everybody, but you can't. I'm all about self-love, self-respect in the context of not being selfish, okay? So that's where I want people to be able to look at. Number one, hey, talk to your partner. What are you thinking about? Hey, what are you feeling? And a lot of times, one partner's feeling this, the other partner's feeling that, but they're the same, but you don't talk about it. One person is feeling so overwhelmed, man, I really just want to chill out this holiday season. And the other one is, man, I want to chill out, relax, and just take it easy this holiday season. But they're assuming the other one wants the opposite, and you might, right? But you never talk about it. There's no, hey, you know what? I know this might be disappointing, but I just want to chill out, man. I just want to just relax this holiday season. Then the other one's like, oh, man, me too. I'm glad you said that. Be open. Be honest. Now, if one wants still the hustle and bustle, gets all over it, and the other one wants to chill out a little bit, now comes into the compromise, right? Are you able to give, both of you, maybe you cut back on the hustle and bustle, and the other one is okay with that instead of fully 100% just relaxing, chilling out during the holiday season. That's where I want people to look at, take each other into consideration, and also look at, am I listening to what my partner wants? Am I listening to what my partner feels and what they think? Or is it all about me? I don't want that, right? That's selfish, egocentric, and it turns into all about you. And maybe one person is used to doing that during the holiday season. It's all about what they want, right? And now for the first time in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, the other one speaks up and says, man, I want to change. I can't believe you want to change. How is this? We've been doing this. It's a tradition, as I trip over my tongue, okay? So those are situations where I want people to be able to look at and listen to each other Don't be arrogant. Don't be selfish. Look at the impact of one another, okay? And again, share the timeline all over the place. I want to help, again, as many people out there as possible, okay? So please, again, throw your questions. What questions do you have, people? You're being sort of quiet. I might have to go back to 8 p.m. on Wednesday night. And Santina, are you selfless? Now, that's a great question. There's a difference between being selfless and, let's face it, and being selfish. But there's also a difference between being selfless and you are giving up your sense of self-respect and self-love. So a lot of people look at, and I talk about it, actually comes up almost every episode, there's a difference between being selfless and promoting self-love and self-respect, okay? Selfless means almost like a doormat, a people pleaser. That's not healthy at all, because then you become, your energy goes down, depression sets in. You feel like you don't have a voice. What you feel, what you think doesn't matter. All your decision-making power is taken away from you. That's not healthy. So that's why I view, as somebody selfless versus, promoting self-love and self-respect. There's a big difference, right? It's the old adage for any caregiver, right? Right? Care for the caregiver, right? Are you promoting self-love? Are you promoting self-respect by also not being, selfish? There's a huge, huge difference. But a lot of people, when I call them, selfless, I look at, what do they do for themselves? What do they do that makes them happy, that brings them joy, brings them pleasure in a relationship? Now, it's all what my partner wants. As long as my partner's happy, I'm happy. And I hear it all the time. Let's be honest. And I'm like, okay, so your partner's happy and you're happy even though you're not feeling loved, you're not feeling respected, you're not even cared about, you're okay with that, right? That's not promoting self-love and self-respect. So there's a huge difference between selfless and selfish, if that makes sense. I hope that helped you out. And I'm all about promoting self-love and self-respect, that what you feel matters, what you think matters, what your partner feels and thinks matters. And yes, your kids too, okay? Doesn't mean your kids get their way all the time. But a lot of people will look at, especially during the holiday season, I got to get them this, I got to get them that, or they won't feel love, they won't feel, I'm like, so you're buying your kids love and you're teaching them that whatever they want materialistically, that's the only way they feel loved? You're not being a good parent. I'm going to be honest. Some people are going to be pissed off by that. But do they also feel loved emotionally, mentally, physically? Maybe a hug now and then, right? Is there discipline? Is there consequences with your kids? Because if there is not, I'm going to be honest with you, you're not being a good parent. Are you so afraid to disappoint your kids that they won't love you, that they'll hate you? If you're afraid of that, get me? You're not being a good parent. It can hurt. I'm not saying it's easy. You got to write, man, this sucks, it hurts, I feel bad. But this is where I want people to be able to look at what is going on. You know what? What am I teaching my kids? What is happening? Those situations, okay? So that's where I look at, with individuals, with people, are you able to put yourself in each other's shoes? Number one, are you willing to hear and listen to what each other is feeling and thinking? What impact you're having on each other, especially during the holiday season? Or is it selfish? It's all about what you want, right? That's being selfish. So now with the holiday season coming up, and I mentioned at the very beginning about the holiday season is very depressing for a lot of people, okay? And I want people to respect that, right? Some people, they expect, holiday season, we should all be joyful, whatever, and everybody's stressed out, right? Not only that, there's a lot of people during the year that has lost loved ones. That I get chills even thinking about this. It's reality, right? Parents that have lost kids throughout the years, throughout the year, and over the years, last year, whatever, their mother, grandmother, sister, brother just died of cancer, got killed by a drunk driver, life, right? And then the holiday season, oh, you're supposed to be thankful. You're supposed to give all this joy to everybody else. And I'm like, why the hell would you? No. This is a time to maybe reflect and heal and look at what is healthy for you. What would help you heal during this time of year, right? Everybody's supposed to be fake. Everybody's supposed to be put on a happy face and a happy smile. And if people know me, my clients do, friends, associates, I'm not about being fake. I'm about being real and being honest. Man, I just feel bummed. It's not a happy time. And a lot of people will try to fake it, and it makes it worse, right? What they're really feeling, I'm putting a smile on my face, but I don't feel it. I'm being fake, and it takes so much work and effort to try to fake during the holiday season that you're happy, you're thankful, you're okay, you're all healed from that grief. Be honest with yourself. Be real, and it's okay. This is a time for you. It's okay not to be happy. You lost a loved one. You maybe some people diagnosed with the disease, cancer. You get me? It's scary. You can be thankful for certain things, but you also got a right to grieve, and you got a right to be sad during the holiday season. But commercialism, right? The media, big business. You're supposed to be happy. You're supposed to be all this stuff, right? It's not that easy for a lot of people. That's where I want people to understand and be respectful of others during this time. Because all those people, right, that love the holidays, they want everybody to love them too. And they try to force other people to be happy, to love the holidays like they do. That's disrespectful. You're not having respect for other people. It's all about you, okay? So I'm honest, right? I'm direct. So many people will try to force feed other people to love come on, it's the holiday season. You just lost a loved one. They lost a kid. You get me? Hey, bubble buns. Yeah, I got to work out a little bit to get my butt back in shape a little bit, right? Where it just pops a little bit. So I look at those situations, and a lot of people, you're supposed to be happy, joyful. Not that you need me to, but I want you to give yourself permission. That's better to be able to, you know what? I don't want to do anything this holiday season. I want to be able to heal. I want to be able to grieve. And a lot of people will try to fake the grieving process and the hustle bustle. A lot of people lose jobs during the holiday season. A lot of companies, they lay off every holiday season, right? So for a lot of times, a lot of people, the holidays is very stressful. I want you to be mindful of that. And also, are you supportive to your partner? Are you supportive to other people? Are you supportive to your friends and family out there emotionally, mentally? Hey, if you need someone to talk, I'm here. You want someone around, you don't have to talk. I won't talk. Just let me know. I'll be there for you. Maybe I can just hold you, hug you. Just be present. Ask those people. Ask your friends, family, especially a lot of turmoil. A lot of first responders go through hellacious situations, right? That I know suicide goes up, okay? Remember, suicide hotlines and text 988. Please call, text if you are, thinking about it. I get it. It's not easy. And it just makes people even more depressed during the holiday season. You have a right to feel sad, okay? I want you to give yourself permission. I'm bummed out. It's okay. Well, nobody wants to be around someone that's bummed out all the time. I get it. I'm honest, right? You're right. Nobody does. But you also have a right to feel. And when you fake, trying to be happy during the holiday season, what happens? it takes a lot more work. Remember, we talk about reducing stress during the holiday season. It takes a lot more work to fake being happy and trying to ignore or pretend you don't feel sad, that you feel depressed, that you feel just blah during the holiday season. So it makes it worse, okay? Not only that, what also happens is during the holiday season, you know what? When you fake it, it prolongs the grief situation, okay? What happens is it actually prolongs it. So when you fake it and you're not allowing the grief to come out, the sadness to come out, and you're faking it, healing, it prolongs and it grips even more. It takes longer for people to heal through the grief and trauma when it's not addressed, okay? So I tell people, if you're sad, you're bummed out during the holiday season, allow yourself to be bummed out during the holiday season, okay? And again, if you do feel, you don't want to be here anymore, I get it, okay? Reach out, please. Try to reach out to a friend, a family member. Like I said, the suicide text hotline is 988 here in America, okay? So reach out there, okay? So there are people that care. There are people that get it. And I don't want people to force feed. Oh, we got to decorate. We got to do all this. Great. If you want to, fantastic. Well, that's your thing. Great. But don't force others if they're sort of bummed out, right? Allow them to get through that. Get rid of it. And if you allow them to, they might have good parts. They might have good points during the holiday season of enjoyment, okay? But don't force it, because that is disrespectful. Again, your intent is great, awesome, woohoo, but the impact you have could make it worse on your friends, on your family, trying to force them to feel what they're not feeling. That's got to come out, okay? That's got to be healed. It's got to come out, and the sooner it comes out, the better and the quicker and the more solid that the healing will be. Simple, right? No, it's not simple. So think about this during the holiday season, people. It's not easy, okay? So remember that. And going back to couples, family dynamics, what would create less stress for you? Is it spending less money? You might not have money to spend for the holiday season. I get it. You might, the hustle, the bustle, might be overwhelming. I get it for a lot of people. So now's the time to show people you do love them, absolutely, but also maybe in a different context. You get me? Now's the time to maybe sit back and say, man, I just want to chill out. And for those people out there, no medical advice that suffer from, seasonal affective depression, seasonal affective disorder, same thing, right? Check in with your doctor, please, okay? I tell people, take vitamin D3. Talk to your doctor, okay? Vitamin D3, vitamin B12 can help. I'm not a medical, I know a lot of medical, but I'm not a doctor. But I want to, talk to your doctor about that first, okay? Any medical aspects, but sometimes that can help. But again, any, vitamin, supplement, talk to your doctor to make sure. But with seasonal affective disorder, some people, they do better on antidepressant, mild antidepressant during the holiday, during the winter months. Like I said, especially in the northern states where we lack sunshine and the sunshine hours are a lot shorter, okay? So check with your doctor, talk to them, and maybe, they might recommend something that would help you. Like I said, vitamin D3, vitamin B12, that might help a lot of people. Again, I'm a medical professional counselor, but I'm not a medical physician or doctor, okay? So talk to your doctor about those situations, especially if, say, the grief and the depression and all that is gripping, where you have a hard time, you can't even move, get out of bed in the morning. I get it, okay? That's where I want people to be supportive, be understanding, and talk to your doctor to try to maybe get some help. And there's no shame in that, not at all. I'm not taking medication. I get that. But people do for blood pressure, diabetes, heart conditions. There's people that want to lose weight and they're on weight loss medication. But when it comes to depression or anxiety, they're like, oh, the stigma, right? And I don't want side effects. I don't, any medication might have side effects, but I don't want that, okay? I want you better. I want stuff to help you feel better, and it might help you process the grief healthier, and it might help you process it more thoroughly and long-standing, right? So remember this. During the holiday season, it's not fun for everybody. Talk about this. Talk about with your family, your loved ones, and be there. And if you need emotional support, reach out to friends, family, maybe even a coworker, okay, or a professional counselor that can help you, manage the holiday season a little bit better, okay? So please, hey Betty, I appreciate you. I'm new here. Can you give me a shout out? You got it. Appreciate you tuning in. So make sure you check out theartofrelationships.org's my website. Check it out. I got some gear, Stop Hate, Love Intentional gear, sweatshirts, t-shirts, and that. I always have a few courses, self-help courses available. Healing After an Affair, mostly what I work with. Reigniting Your Relationship, and also a premarital course as well for those people that are looking at getting married, moving in together, okay? So check those out. Again, theartofrelationships.org. And as always, follow me, like me. I appreciate it. I'm always flattered. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn even, at LoveGuruGreg. I appreciate it, and I'm flattered that you spent your time with me, checking in, okay? So peace and love to everybody out there. Everybody take care and reach out